Have you ever wondered if a museum exhibit could kill you? Tonight, we uncover 10 museum artifacts that allegedly dragged visitors into death's shadow. Stay until the end. Number 1 hides a truth too shocking to ignore. Number 10. The Lightning Idol, Amazonian Rainforest Exhibit. In 1973, a massive stone idol carved from dark basalt arrived at the Natural History Museum. It was unearthed from a remote Amazonian temple, its fierce visage and weathered details hinting at ancient power. On the very first night, the display case shattered. No storm, no faults, just a thunderous crack that scared the cleaning crew into silence. Within the next 2 weeks, 2 museum technicians collapsed while cleaning nearby exhibits. Autopsies revealed fried cardiac tissue, like they'd been struck by lightning from within, their hearts scarred. A security guard sworn in afterward reported rattling static interference in his earpiece while standing next to the idol. He described a low humming rising through his body until he could no longer move. He quit the job 2 days later, his eyes still vacant. Engineers measured the idol's grounding spike and found it accumulated up to 8,000 volts over days, in a supposedly safe, climate-controlled room. Unexpected revelation. Under flickering fluorescent lights, stray frequencies induced corona discharge on the idol's surface, a silent electric charge building up. Twist, even with power shut off, the idol recharges, absorbing electromagnetic fields from city wiring, traffic, even Wi-Fi routers. That humming you hear? It's alive. Now enclosed in isolation chambers with plasma insulators, the idol remains still, but its subtle pulse lingers, and somewhere beneath those walls, static electricity sleeps, waiting to strike again. Number 9. The Pharaoh's Dagger, Cairo Antiquities. The gold dagger found buried with Pharaoh Neferefre is legendary for its blood-red gemstone pommel. When it debuted at the Cairo Museum's new exhibit wing, a curator collapsed within minutes, blood pooling from his ears, eyes glazing over as he whispered, "He called my name." Over the next fortnight, 3 guards abandoned their shifts after hearing disembodied whispering at night. A journalist investigating reported nightmares, ancient cornfields, a crown of reeds, then a whisper, "Betrayer." He quit mid-interview. Researchers found traces of slow-acting neurotoxins embedded in microscopic pores of the gold alloy. The dagger was chemical warfare crafted centuries ago, silent, insidious. Only with skin contact did the chemicals absorb, trickling through pores then disabling neurotransmitters. Number 8. The Crying Portrait, Victorian Manor Exhibit. Painted in 1899 of Lady Marguerite, a noblewoman rumored to kill for love, this portrait hung untouched in a Victorian manor, now restored as a museum. At night, staff claimed they heard soft sobs. One night guard left a frantic note, "Her tears were mine." He was found next morning, hanged, without explanation. Visitors stood frozen, staring, overcome with grief so intense they couldn't speak. Many left with damp cheeks, choking back tears. Yet the night guard's suicide note described her tears as real blood. Laboratory spectral analysis revealed depressive frequencies encoded in the varnish. So under dim, humid lighting, viewers' serotonin levels plummeted. Only on humid nights did the effect activate. Molecular shift in the chemical layers emitted subtle ultrasonic waves that humans subconsciously interpret as wailing. Twist. Once a tech turned off the ambient lights, the sobbing stopped instantly and resumed when basement lights flickered on. The painting now hangs behind LED-lit glass, humidity controlled. Yet tears still appear on its painted cheeks, and when the lights go out, those frequencies linger. Number 7. The Jade Mask, Forbidden Asian Collection. This funeral mask of jade, worn by an ancient chieftain, was returned to a Western museum in 1998, after years stashed in private collections. Weeks after its display, 3 staffers fell gravely ill: organ failure, searing headaches, then death. No trace of pathogen or radiation found. A night watch described breathing deep and feeling numbness before collapsing in the hall. Paramedics found no injury, only internal organ shutdown. Chemists extracted cyanogenic compounds from jade's pores, poison activated by body heat and breath. Even undergloved handling prompted patient symptoms. Mask seemingly inhaled life. Twist. Experiments showed that just standing near the mask for 2 minutes raised a person's cardiac enzyme levels. Silent, slow, fatal. Now sealed behind glass with airlocks, the mask still chills. Standing too close could freeze your organs. Number 6. The Whispering Coin, Pirate Shipwreck Exhibit. Recovered from a 17th century pirate galleon, this tarnished silver coin whistles when flipped. Visitors say they hear soft wind, ocean waves. Some heard names, others saw watery faces. 2 museum goers drowned soon after visiting the exhibit. Both found near the coin with wide, empty eyes. A sound technician looping the whistle under headphones described hearing chants in the drift. Then faint footsteps. He resigned shortly after. Acoustic analysts revealed the coin's central hole channels ambient noise in a way that resonates with one's own heartbeat, creating a trance. Number 5. The Sorrowful Camera, Victorian Studio Exhibit. Hidden in a dusty corner of an old photography studio museum, a bellows camera from 1895 claimed to cause despair in the photos it takes. Early visitors say that anyone captured by its lens looks haunted, sunken eyes, drenched in grief. One photographer tried it himself. After his photo was developed, he locked himself away. Hours later, he was found dead, torn sheets around him, eyes wide, face contorted in terror. Lab experts examined the camera. Friction during shutter release releases microscopic carbon fiber dust from the bellows. On inhalation, it causes intense psychological depression. Victims describe vivid hallucinations of loss and betrayal. But there's more. Shutter click breaks the soul. When the film is processed, static electricity collects on the print, creating an external field that, when held, triggers mild electromagnetic pulses near the heart and brain. Even photos pulse with gloom. Short phrase: this camera captures souls. Twist: in tests, 10 volunteers posed for one photo. Within 72 hours, 7 reported suicidal thoughts, though none knew each other. The camera's chemical and electrical effects scramble neural circuits. Now, the camera is kept in a Faraday cage locked behind bulletproof glass with hazard signs. Once you see your photo, your mind might never let go. Number 4. The Blood Chalice, Medieval Alchemy Exhibit. Displayed in an old European museum, a tarnished chalice believed to have belonged to a medieval alchemist practicing blood magic. People who peered inside reported seeing swirling red liquid, even when empty. One visitor drank from it as a dare. Days later, he died in agony. His blood drained internally, organs liquefied. Microscopic tests on the chalice interior revealed crystallized heavy metals, including mercury and lead. In tiny doses, ingested or through skin, they cause acute internal hemorrhaging and neurological breakdown. Cup laughs with past lives. Tests with dripping water samples passed through the chalice produced trace amounts of toxic elements. Silver glimmers poisonously. Short phrase: it drinks you alive. Twist: in 1999, a museum cleaner forced open the case. She felt cold, dizzy, and collapsed, vital signs flat. Resuscitated, she refused to speak, spent weeks in ICU. Now the chalice is sealed in a hermetically sealed case filled with inert gas, still shimmers red when the lights dim. Visitors say they avoid looking too long. Number 3. The Haunting Mask, Aztec Ritual Exhibit. A black obsidian mask with inlaid jade stones from an Aztec human sacrifice site. Worn briefly during a ritual, it is believed to bind with the wearer's soul. A museum curator tried it on during maintenance. She walked into a wall and never recognized herself. Security footage showed blank eyes staring through the glass. Physiological tests showed that wearing the mask releases adrenaline-triggering chemicals from jade and obsidian friction. Mask wearers experience blackout seizures, loss of identity, and, in rare cases, fatal cardiovascular collapse. Reflection shows someone else. Short phrase: identity unravels under glass. Twist: one researcher watched the replay and found on the camera's reflection a figure standing behind the curator, though she was alone. Now the mask is stored in a locked underground vault. Only remote cameras provide visuals. No one is allowed near, let alone inside it. Number 2. The Tape of the Lost Choir, Abandoned Orphanage Exhibit. In a dim wing of an orphanage museum lies a single audio cassette, labeled Choir, 1963. It belonged to children in a one-night church vigil where 12 children disappeared. In the tape you hear faint singing, but also breathing, sobbing, prayers in Latin. Visitors claim they feel moved to tears. 2 priests who listened in private both froze, stared at the ceiling, and died of massive heart failure. Spectral analysis found infra-low frequencies, combined with tiny vocal harmonics, synchronizing listeners' brainwaves with slow, communal religious emotion. It triggers endorphin surges, followed by collapse. Chorus praise inside your head. Short phrase: choir rewrites your mind. Twist: a testing psychologist played it for patients. All exited the room chanting softly, refusing to speak for hours, and one never spoke again. Now the tape is sealed in a Faraday-wrapped box, played only through digital filters which strip the infrasonic elements. Yet when the original cassette lies close, monitors detect heartbeat deceleration.
Number 1.
The Vial of Eternal Gaze, Cursed Curiosities Collection. The final artifact, a small glass vial containing a crystal-clear liquid, displayed in a museum of oddities. Legend says it was distilled tears of remorse during the Inquisition. Those who look into it, even for seconds, report seeing their entire life flash, pain, regret, failures, then collapse. 3 visitors lost their minds on sight, pacing, scratching faces, whispering apologies to nobody. 2 were hospitalized, only partially recovered. Scientists tested the liquid. It's a mix of powerful psychotropic compounds, hallucinogens, and neural excitotoxins. Vapor from the vial can passively transmit through glass. In trace amounts, it causes shared hallucinations, flashbacks, acute psychosis. Vial hums with regret. Short phrase: remorse bottled in glass. Twist: when researchers measured airborne levels near the display, every sample showed detectable psychotoxins, despite airtight seals. The vial is now kept underground in a secure lab, monitored 24/7. No photos allowed, no direct viewing. Authorities warn, just the image of it can trigger the effect in susceptible viewers. These 10 artifacts are not mere historical curiosities. They're weapons forged in science, emotion, and ancient intent. Their ability to kill, manipulate, or erase identity is real. Inshallah, this video will hold viewers in your spell until the very end.